Hey guys, it's We Talk Art 101. I'm your girl, Faith Amina. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of our 5-part documentary. This is now part 2, and in this section we'll be talking about how hard is it to keep relationships, platonic or romantic, and sexuality. So, this will be really interesting. Stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching. This is We Talk Art 101. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Are you open with telling people about your sexuality? Well, I wouldn't say I'm not open, but I would say that it normally does not come up on dates. I don't bring it up on dates, and only because it's a taboo concept. And so most people, I would say, or most women that I've dated have preferred monogamous relationships. And so when you say, oh, I'm polyamorous, that's the first thing they do assume is that, oh, it's about sex, or, you know, he just wants to have his cake and eat it too. And so I normally don't bring it up. I'm not very forthcoming with it, but if somebody asks me, I do bring it up.
Are you open with telling people about your sexuality? Okay. So relationally, I'm polyamorous. Sexually, I like to say omnisexual or polysexual or pansexual, whichever term people want to put to it. Shout out to Janelle Monáe, we here. So I identify as like pan or omni or polysexual, which means that I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. I have dated somebody who's transgendered. I have dated somebody who is gender non-conforming. I have dated men. I have dated women. I have dated people who don't know. They're just like they have spirit animals. It doesn't matter to me. I connect with people because of, and people often say it like a popular energy, but I connect based off how we interact and the amount of comfort and communication. And if we can just chill and have a good time. There was a gender non-conforming individual who is currently my nesting partner. And though she presents as completely femme, she's not. Or I have another partner who is a trans male, but, you know, could switch it up at any time. So me sexually, it's about who the person is as a whole. But again, sexuality doesn't always have to mean physical interaction. Sexuality is a whole emotional, mental aspect as well. So, like there are things that I would consider sexual that most people won't because it's like penetrative, or even like BDSM. Like I have a partner whose partner is my partner, and I solely am the person who gets roped up. I'm a rope buddy, and it is fun. It is very fun. If you haven't tried it, that's a plug. Let somebody tie you up. It's cool. Of course, have your safe words and negotiations. But yeah, that's my sexuality.
Is it hard to keep relationships? How? So, I'm not sure if that question's for polyamory relationships, but I would say monogamous relationships for me have always been hard. That's because I have been attracted to other people, and so even being attracted to one person, for me, it normally, I feel sedated and I get bored. So that's why I think for me, relationships, monogamous relationships at least, have not worked, and I'm usually against going into a monogamous relationship without communicating to the person that I am or open to polyamory.
Let's see. Is it hard to keep relationships, and how? Let me go over span for the last 8 years. Okay. It's not difficult to keep relationships. It's difficult to remain healthy for yourself in some. And this is what I mean by that. Everything comes with a beginning and an ending, no matter how much we want to stretch it out or make it longevitous. It has its, something is going to expire at some point. But what I find is that people in poly, just like people anywhere, they actually do things that encourage relationship destruction. Like fear, the big question is, how do you deal with jealousy? Like, what if you see somebody kissing somebody else that you love, or you don't boil up, you don't want to punch them in the face, don't want to kiki, do you love me? Like, what What is it that you want, you know? So one particular relationship, it was when I first started in poly, and I didn't know any terminology for it. I knew nothing. I just knew that I could not, within like fathom, just only romantically, platonically, at all valuing one person above anybody else. Because then I just looked at my life and I was like, all these people are helping me be a better person, and I for them as well. So I was in a relationship at that time. Then we weren't declared anything, but she was clearly monogamous and I was not. So we had this discussion, and I was like, look, I don't know the term for it. I don't know what it is, but I know that I can't do this monogamous thing for you. I don't know if you want to be with me, but if you do, this is what's going down. I'm going to figure it out as I can. I'm going to do my best. I did horribly. It was horrible. Like, I made every single communication mistake. I did everything backwards because I did not know that relationships, regardless of their structure, is still about caring for and being sensitive to other people's progressions as well. Like, when I jumped into it, I'm like, yo, this is me. Take off. But I forgot that there was somebody else that I was attached to. So when it comes to interacting with people as a whole, we have to be careful of taking off, simply because we have come to an understanding of something, and the other people around us may not have. So that was that relationship. That relationship ended up passing, but I am now partners with other monogamous-oriented individuals who we don't have that issue, because though I may be super comfortable with something, I don't take off on it. And then we sit down, talk, we're patient. Like, I have a friend who's a partner of mine now. We were friends for 3 years, and I remember I walked into a room and I saw her, and in the most like man way, I was like, mine, like just mine. All the dudes around, like, we're sitting in the back, in the least patriarchal way, of course, but the most just like, yo. So invite her out, get some hookah, and we're talking, and I'm like, hey, I have to tell you, by the way, I'm polyamorous. And she's like, what does that even mean? So we go through it, and she's like, I remember she was like, I mean, that's interesting. It's not for me, but we can be friends. 3 years later, here we are. I wore it down. So we're together, and she's still having issues because it's just like, what does this mean? How do I transition? So on and so forth. And I'm like, how do I deal with somebody else transitioning? Luckily, I made all those horrible mistakes years ago, so I understand it. So it's working because I'm very patient. And she actually called me like 2 days ago, like, I'm feeling some type of way, And I'm just like, yeah. Well, what can I do? Oh, I just need you to listen. You're awesome. I love you. Because that's all it is. Like, people just need to be heard and not feel like they're ridiculous for how they feel. In relationships, period. And if you can do that, you can keep a relationship, whether it's monogamous or non-monogamous. Now, platonic friends is interesting. I'm gonna go from the male and the man and woman side. It is difficult for me to keep men identifying or male conditioned friends, because it's either instantly they're intimidated or they're scared that I'm going to take their girl. What makes you think that I'm gonna try to take your girl if I'm the only honest one out of all of us? It's so baffling. Like, they're scared because I'm honest and that the honesty works. So I've lost a lot of friends, or I haven't been invited to certain things because it's a couples thing, and they're like, oh, he's gonna bring like 3 people with him. You know, it kind of sucks. And there is real discrimination against people that are not monogamous. And it's something that's not spoken about because, one, it's something that's not written about, but also it's not egregious enough to the point where it makes public news, even though people who are poly and non-monogamous are losing their children in court cases. They're actually their kids are physically getting bullied in school. They're missing out on employment opportunities because they're open about the fact they have multiple partners. Everything that every other minority group goes through, they go through as well. But it's not, so nobody knows. With women, when it comes to, or people, women identifying persons, however terminology, it's always that line, you know. Even with the males that I find attractive as well, is that okay, Chris? We know you're open. We know we're cool. Are you just gonna try to have sex with me? I'm like, first of all, you're not that attractive. Like, I'm not attracted to you. I appreciate you. You're probably somebody's preference, but you're not mine. So I have to continually make sure I set boundaries with people so they know that, oh, I'm not just trying to get at them. And I'm a naturally flirtatious person because I'm happy and da-da-da. So everybody always thinks I'm trying to have sex with them. No, I don't even want to take you on a date. Why do you think that I just want to? So, I mean, relationships are relationships. It's all about the flexibility. It's all about the understanding of people and giving people room to grow and experience for themselves.
Thank you for watching. Share your opinions in the comment section and look out for part 3 soon to come.